Hi, this is Preksha Jain, your certified relationship and intimacy coach, and today we are going to talk about the couples who fight a lot and how, with these 10 tips, they can learn to fight fair and improve their relationship. But before we begin, I would like to draw your attention towards something. Now, many of you watch my videos entirely but don't subscribe. My analytics show that 90% of the viewers watch the entire video without subscribing. Please subscribe since it will not only help my channel grow but also allow YouTube to push my videos to more and more people. And I would love to help more and more of you. So do the needful. And today I have got a free guide for this very topic to help you fight fair with your partner. It's packed with actionable tips and practical insights that you can practice in your relationship and make it healthier. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my monthly newsletter, Mindful Some Magic, so that you can get love advice, relationship tips, and interesting insights delivered straight to your inbox. Now let's dive in. Tip number one, understand the root cause. Often, fights aren't about the surface issues. It's not about who forgot to take the trash out or who left the wet towel on the bed. Sometimes it's about feeling being taken for granted, and no one would like to be taken for granted. No one would like to feel that there is no appreciation or there is no support. So, if your arguments start over chores, really understand if your partner is feeling supported or not. If your partner is feeling overwhelmed due to all the work that they have to do by themselves. Tip number two, cool down before talking. I know it's easier said than done. When we are angry or high on emotions, we want to let it all out. But here's the thing, when we jump into an argument or a discussion with our emotions on high alert, we might end up saying some hurtful things that we can never get back. So, it's important to understand, to recognize that when a discussion is going on a different tangent or going towards fight or argument, take a breather and say, let's take 30 minutes and cool ourselves down and come back to this problem. This will not only help you gain some clarity but also prevent some hurtful words from exchanging. Tip number three, use I statements more. I always talk about it. I always say it on almost all my videos that instead of making the other person feel that they are being blamed, say how you are feeling. For example, instead of saying, you never listen to me, try and say that I feel unheard when we are discussing our plans, and see how you open up a space for a conversation to take place, for your partner to listen to you. Tip number four, listen actively. Like, really listen to when your partner is trying to tell you something. Understand where they are coming from. They may be talking about their feelings. They may be talking about something that is deeply impacting them. For example, if your partner is expressing the feeling of being neglected, instead of defending yourself or invalidating their feelings by saying that no, you can't be feeling like that, I'm here to provide you everything, try and listen to them and encourage them to speak more about it by saying that, can you tell me more about how you're feeling? Can you tell me more about being neglected? I would like to listen to you. I would like to want to be there with you, and see how the scenario changes. Tip number five, pick your battles. See, not every disagreement has to lead to a fight or an argument. Think about if it really is important to fight over something small. If it's about leaving the wet towel on the bed and it has happened once or twice or maybe thrice, consider if it is really something to fight about. Number six, and very important one, find compromise. Now, I'm not asking you to sacrifice your inner feelings or inner desires over it. Compromising means finding a middle ground where, the situation is a win-win, where both of you get what you want. It's very important to find a middle ground when you both are arguing. Someone wants to spend and the other wants to save more. So maybe you can find a budget that will allow both of you to achieve your goals. That will allow one to spend per their choice and the other person to save a bit portion of the finances. Number seven, express appreciation. Highly important, highly recommended, and I practice it too. And I think you should too. Regularly tell your partner what you like about them. Regularly let them know what you appreciate about them. Our partners are there, physically present with us to help us through everything, to support us through the storms of life, to be there as a guiding light. Maybe they are not as beautifully explained guiding lights, but they are your partners and they share things with you. You share things with them. So it's important to let them know what it means to you. It'll really have an impact on your relationship when you tell them that I love how you support me through my career choices, or I love how you involve me in decisions. It'll make the other person feel valued. It'll make you feel good that you made your partner feel good. Tip number 8, establish boundaries, especially in the relationships that are not as solid, where there is a bit name calling, where there is emotional explosiveness, where there are emotional outbursts, or there is a lot of yelling and shouting. It's very important to establish boundaries. Why? Because you cannot have a healthy relationship with someone who is not healthy with themselves. When your partner is emotionally explosive or, yelling at every small thing, it'll rattle you. It will make you question your self esteem and self confidence. So it's crucial, it's essential to put a boundary. Now, it's the boundary is not for you to tell them how to behave, but for you to take a stand for yourself and also for them to see that this is the line that they are not meant to cross. It's very important for you to make it very clear what is and isn't acceptable in the relationship. For example, if they are yelling at you for something, you can say, I will engage in this conversation when I feel respected, or I will not engage in the conversation if there is name calling or yelling. This will ensure a more healthy approach. Tip number 9, schedule time to discuss issues. It's very subtle and many of us overlook it. For example, if your partner has come home from work and you immediately pounce on them with all your complaints and problems during the day, they will feel even more exhausted than they already are. So maybe set aside a particular time, or maybe once both your tummies are full, talk about things that bother you. Your partner is more likely to be receptive of what you are saying. They are more likely to listen to you, and they are more likely to support you better. Last but not the least, tip number 10. Remember why you are together. And no, it has absolutely nothing to do with the definition of ideal commitment. You can definitely choose to separate if the relationship is toxic or abusive. But it's very important to remember why you are together, why you got into a relationship or a marriage in the first place. Because you developed love and understanding over time. You developed mutual respect over time. In conclusion, fighting doesn't always have to be the default way to communicate in a relationship. You can learn to fight fair. Yes, this is the third time I'm saying that. You can learn to fight fair with these steps and improve your relationship. Check out the detailed guide for more such strategies and more actionable tips. The link is below. And if you found these tips helpful and practical, please like, share, and subscribe. Together, let's work towards more loving and healthier relationships.